Champions rise like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait. Captain choice will seal your fate. Two enthusiasts breaking it down. Fantasy kings, we're taking the crown.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tinker Time, an FPL pod, the show for every fantasy Premier League manager who's already second-guessing their latest draft. It's Thursday, May 21st, 2026, and whether you're finally locked into your Gameweek 38 draft or just here to scout some differentials, you've come to the right place. I'm Matt, alongside Jim, and we're here to help you tweak, test, and yes, tinker your way to the top of your mini-league. We'll break down the best value picks, sure trends, and hidden gems, so you don't have to stare at your squad screen in despair. So let's pop the hood, crack open the spreadsheet, and get tinkering. Jim, if I can still call you that.
You may.
How the hell are you?
I am doing well. What a roller coaster it's been since the last record here. The double,
What have you been up to
the double
in your
Game Week 36, Game Week 37. Now we're here. This is the penultimate episode.
That's a big word. Let's rephrase that. This is our second to last episode.
Yeah.
Man, that seems weird to say.
You got to use your thesaurus more often. I use that appropriately.
It's hiding underneath my dictionary, so I'll have to get back to it.
Still
what's
trying
going
to get
on?
through that one.
How you you caught me. I like to break a mental sweat.
I bet you got stuck in the D's.
Not in the R's. Oof. It has been a minute since we have talked. I think our last record was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Back from a little family vacation. A little color on the cheeks. A little color on my face too.
Boy, yeah. I
Ugh.
love that for you. The cheeks, the colors on the cheeks.
It's good to get away. Put things into perspective
Which perspective is that?
about how terrible normal life is.
Well, when life is bad, there's still always FPL. You know, they always have that. It is.
Although it's basically over.
Well, it's over in the sense that, we're at the penultimate episode. We're at, the final game week here. The season is essentially concluded from a real Premier League perspective, but FPL never ends.
It kind of does because I can't beat you, and
Oh.
I'm in 13th place, so it's over.
Well, you had a little momentum there. I think you overtook me, and then you did the intro read, and that was the end of your run.
Yeah, it was very short-lived. 2 weeks maybe. I think we didn't record, so it was only 1 week. But
yeah. I mean, we'll do a real postmortem, I guess, probably in our last episode. Yeah, just a tough season overall. Some highs, some lows, some in betweens, but really, I mean, the highs are the friendships you make along the way. Isn't there a quote like that?
I don't know. I think that my quote book is underneath this thing.
Underneath the stars.
Jesus.
Should we get into it?
Let's do it. You want to start with the biggest news of the week?
All right, biggest news of the week.
Alonso.
I don't want to say it.
Xabi Alonso signed to Chelsea.
Yeah, Xabi Alonso finally. Liverpool missed their man.
No, Xabi Alonso? What's his first name? Yeah.
Xabi, B-I?
Yeah.
With a V. In Spanish, B and V are pronounced the same way.
I think I was also mixing myself up with Marcos Alonso, a former Chelsea star. So
he was a handsome son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah. Always injured, though.
Yeah, he had a couple good seasons. We're not about to get onto a Marcos Alonso's tangent here. We can't do that. It's way too early.
Right. We have to give praise where praise is due. Good signing by Chelsea.
Good signing by Chelsea. I kind of teased it a little bit. Premier League title has been crowned, decided. I mean, book closed, case closed.
You want to try that one again?
All these fucking books. Super Mick Arteta. He complained a lot last season about all these penalties that they weren't getting.
And the season before.
And the season before, with a little help from, that little man, that very, very little man who sits behind the monitor. They have secured their first title in, I think it's 24 years, I want to say, 22, something like that.
22, yeah, something like that.
Something like that. It's meaningless.
Yeah.
For for what it's worth.
It's like very clearly the weakest season of history.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Plenty of assists through VAR, plenty of penalties given, other teams not getting penalties. It's a shame, but if that's how they want to win it, let them celebrate.
I saw one reporter who had a caller call in to his, show or whatever, and he was saying how with this victory, Teta jumps Pep in terms of like greatest Premier League managers. He was so good that he made Pep leave, and that you know Arsenal, the board didn't give Mikel, this massive budget. He did this by developing players and really stretching the budget. Whereas, Pep won all these titles just by outspending everyone. Let me just say this very clearly. We are not a Premier League pod. We are an FPL pod. But we are also not a bunch of idiots. If you were going to make claims like that, those are the types of claims that just make Arsenal fans insufferable.
Yeah. I mean, all their goals came from Saliba, Willian, and Rice, who they purchased. So,
They spent £100 million on Rice. I mean, give me a break.
to be fair, money well spent.
Great spend, but
Great.
don't sit here and say that like you didn't spend money.
Yeah. To your point, Pep out, going to be replaced by Maresca, looks like. So he was only sidelined for a little while. What do you think about that signing?
So I have a conspiracy that Maresca knew he was in line, so he forced his way out at Chelsea because I didn't personally think he was doing a bad enough job there. I mean, I don't know what was going on in the locker room,
Yeah,
but
that was an odd one at the time.
felt like that was the most stable manager they'd had probably since Poch, maybe
He kind of had like a slot season going though, like not bad,
up and down.
not great. The team was good and they got him some wins, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not honestly, I think the signing is more shocking than him getting let go from Chelsea.
But yeah, I mean that was just a absolutely asinine, ass-a-10, ass-11 level signing. But yeah,
Do you think this means Holland moves on,
well,
goes as
all
somewhere in
indications
Spain?
are that Mbappe is going to leave Madrid and come over to Arsenal. That's what that's what the internet is saying these days. So
What?
in theory, I mean, the internet is just as insufferable as the Gunner fans that are on it. But um, I mean, I guess in theory that would open up a spot for him at the Bernabeu.
See,
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah, we'll have.
It's the first time in what 11 years that there's a glimmer of hope that City aren't going to be a guaranteed top four spot.
I mean, and we also should say rest in peace, Bernardo Silva, who's also officially been announced to depart.
That's right.
I should have poured another beer because we're pouring a lot of beer out for a lot of people right now.
You always did really well signing him late in the season in FPL. He always had a little burst of energy.
He was just like a little Portuguese bun, you know?
He was, I don't, bun?
What is it? Portuguese roll? It's a type of bread. Okay, roll. Sorry. I should
Yeah.
say roll, not bun. You got me talking about your cheeks.
Yeah. He was like the perfect example of somebody who was like so good, but didn't get a guaranteed 90 minutes every week because they had so many great players. But in any other squad, he would be a guaranteed starter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to miss him. He was a fun one to watch.
I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss Pep. I probably won't miss Pep Roulette though.
Will you miss Pep?
I was trying to make a joke earlier about like how they kind of just it's almost like when a company does a brand refresh, they just kind of took like the old Mr. Clean and updated him with like a new Mr. Clean. 'Cause I mean,
Yeah, like
Maresca,
they gave him
they
an
just,
earring and
yeah, yeah. I mean, if you gave Maresca an earring, you would honestly say they're pretty similar looking. Mr. Clean, and we're copyright infringed. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see how it works out. I saw some issue, not issues. I saw some reports that folks are saying big changes coming to City squad because Maresca is very much a system guy, and they're not going to hold on to these players because his system is so different than Pep's, and it's like he was coaching under Pep when they won the Champions League final not that long ago. Like, how could his system be so vastly different? I don't know.
also like it's kind of the same situation that he had at Chelsea. He's got a ton of players to choose from. Plug him into the system. I don't know what that makes no sense.
Well, you know who he cannot choose from? It's not going to be able to choose Mo Salah, who's on a different team and also gonna be leaving the Prem
Two very
after
good
this.
reasons why.
So, I mean, this is truly, if we want to talk about FPL eras, this is the end of an era. And I don't know if we're ever going to see another 14.5 mil priced midfielder.
Yeah, it was pricey, but worth it. Not this year, but last year broke the record, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that son of a bitch basically ruined my season because I was so stubborn. I held on to him for kind of that, like, I think from basically game week 1 till about maybe 15, 16. I was pretty stubborn about it, and that's where I really started to see my rank just tank, and it was largely due to his misses, his blanks. And shout out to FPL Black Lab. I mean, he called at the beginning of the season, no Salah, no Holland. He's absolutely crushing it. He's probably a good 200 points ahead of us. And you extrapolate that over the course of the season, it's basically just not having Salah and having someone in there who was giving you, at a minimum, DEFCON week in, week out. I don't
Yeah,
have the numbers with me, but
DEF CON. Ugh.
what's your favorite Salah memory?
I like when he had really long, crazy hair. When he would get sweaty at the end of the game, and it would be all wild. He'd do his yoga pose when he would score. That was my favorite.
Okay.
Like he had so much fun out there. Like a nice
Yeah.
Allison assist to Salah. That was always a good one.
I think I'm gonna remember him, and just be clear, he's not dead. He's just not. He's just
Oh.
leaving. Not like his other teammate. No technical difficulties.
Mhm. Sit there for a minute. It's pretty awful.
That's pretty awful. I actually have a comment about it in a minute, but I think what I'll always remember Salah for is kind of that, just like running down the wing, takes a defender one on one, and then has that little cutback, and then just curls it into the left corner. Iconic. He just tormented defenders for a few seasons there.
More than a few. What is it?
Well, probably what,
8, 9?
8 or 9? Yeah, I mean he's Liverpool legend. Put the statue up. All right. Um, last thing on Liverpool, there was an interview I think with future Spur, Andy Robertson, who said
Maybe.
that
Maybe a future spring.
that yeah, former future Spur, that Diogo's death really affected the squad, like, during the season, and he was almost kind of attributing to some of their peaks and valleys to just folks having really a difficult time coping with Diogo Jota's death.
Yeah, I could see that.
Sounded like he just wanted to get some airtime for an interview.
Well, Robertson was best buddies with him.
I don't think I ever saw the two of them play FIFA together, so I don't know how close they were.
Well, did you see them any other time?
No,
There you
no.
go.
The only other time I saw him was when Diogo Jota, and I hate slandering him because he's not here to defend himself. He should have had that red card against Spurs, and he ended up coming on and scoring that goal.
Jonah?
I'm pretty sure it was him.
I will refrain from commenting.
Good, 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 good.
No ill will of the dead.
Villa won Europa League.
They did. Good for them. What a season they had.
Extra points if you can say the name of their opponent in the final.
Freiburg.
Okay, okay. That was a trick question because
Not a trick.
they basically just played nobody.
Interesting season from them. We had kind of high expectations. Watkins, was great last year. They had a great fixture run to start the season. Didn't capitalize. Watkins was basically cold for the whole first half, maybe 2/3 of the season. But then they had strung that, what was it, like 12 games unbeaten
They were hot. They were hot.
November timeframe.
Couldn't be
They were
stopped.
great. Buendia, Rogers, fucking McGinn,
Fucking
like
John McGinn.
just chipping in goals here and there. And
Chipperoo.
yeah, they had a good season.
Yeah. Yeah. Top six? Big six?
Yeah, and that means, so I forget all the implications, but we have five teams going to the Champions League, 2 to Europa, and 1 to the conference.
Yes.
At least that's what FOMOB's telling me right now.
Yeah. No, Fatmum never lies.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, good for them. Secured, 4th place there by themselves. So
Well, I mean, I guess Liverpool could, in
I guess
theory, bump them
based on differential, yeah.
just based on differential, but that would be incredible. That would be incredible. All right, let's get to the main feature, right? I mean, this is all nice. We're giving folks their flowers. We're kind of making some fun of folks, but there is still quite a bit to play for in Game Week 38. There are two teams that are not on the beach just yet. They are still very much in contention to stay in the Prem. That being our beloved Tottenham Hotspur, and the Western Hamates United.
Yeah. So when I think we recorded last, it was after the Villa win. So great win. Spurs looked top of the game, back to their old form. After that, they played Leeds. Tell had a beautiful goal, was ahead, followed by the most ridiculous penalty awarded to Leeds after that from Tell. He was going up for a ball. A Leeds player dove in from behind him, so we had no idea that that Leeds player was there to put his head right next to his foot. They gave a penalty for it. It's, we can complain about VAR all we have been complaining about VAR all season, but this is just like a complete absurdity that, yes, if you slow it down and look only at where his foot is and where his head is, yeah, it was pretty close. But if you look at it in the context of the game, not slowed down, giving a penalty for that was ridiculous.
It's really just been the lack, and this, like, let me be very clear. We're not complaining, right? We accept the result. We accept the position that we're in. It's the lack of consistency.
Mhm.
How can, like, you have that instance that you just spoke to where Tell is, and to be fair, Tell should not be defending, but he's trying his fucking hardest out there, right? Like, he knows what's at stake. He goes in for a bicycle kick to try to clear a ball, has no idea that there's anybody around him. Now, sure, should he maybe scan a little bit more and be aware of that? And maybe that's not his position, right? He's not Declan Rice, who's just scanning for the sake of the fucking 30-second clip on TikTok of him scanning. Okay. But, like, fast forward a week. So they're playing Chelsea. Liam Delap literally is looking at Jed Spence, running towards him for a 50-50 ball in the air, leads with his elbow. So he knows Spence is there, leads with his elbow. No, nothing. Nothing called. Very clear, like, not a play on the ball, nothing. Come to find out today, this is 2 days after, Spence breaks his jaw. Like,
Not even a review.
not even a review. Like, this is where the conspiracies come out. Because if you're going to sit here and say there's no agenda against Spurs, I mean, maybe there's an agenda or a conspiracy to, like, how do we keep the season interesting? It's by the big storyline of Tottenham Hotspur being relegated. I don't know, but, like, you cannot sit here and not just wonder, like, what is going on
Yeah.
behind the scenes?
And then in the same game, again, yes, I mean, at this point, we are just complaining. But in the same game, Spurs had a corner. Gorilla takes Van de Ven down in the goal. He tackles him into the goal on a corner. They didn't even review it.
It's literally a penalty by definition.
And we have not had a penalty all season.
All season.
37
season.
games, no penalties.
And, I mean, no red cards called against us. We'll talk more about, Spurs probably in the fixture results, but
Yeah,
buckle up.
really
It's
bad.
gonna be a bloodbath. It has to be.
Really bad.
You know what wasn't bad?
Spurs had a chance in the Leeds game.
Yes.
In the Leeds game, they had the lead. If they held the lead, we could have locked it up before this Chelsea game even kicked off. We gave up the penalty. Chelsea game starts. West Ham had already lost, so we only needed a tie. No red card, no penalty. We lose by 1. All comes down to this weekend.
It just goes back to, and this will be the last thing we talk about for right now, but you can't win the league in August, September, October, but you can fucking lose it. Like, we are talking about a single point. We didn't win a home match until fucking the end of April.
No,
Like,
we still haven't won a home match.
we still have, okay, sure. That's right. No, we hadn't won a match
We
in
hadn't won a match.
2025. We still haven't won a home match. You're right. I'm sorry, I misspoke. But, like, these results that, Thomas Frank, I guarantee you we will lose games. Like, that's the wrong mentality. You need 1 point. The difference between you staying up and going down is going to come down to a single point. And if you actually look at Spurs away points on the season, they're actually third in the table. That's how big the disparity is. Their home form has been atrocious.
I mean,
which
even
is
going back to last year.
absolutely insane. Okay. Anywho, we'll talk more about it. There was some games that were played in 37. We got to give flowers. We got to give our boom, our bust, player of the week. So we actually had joint this week. We're gonna skip 36 because obviously it's the past is in the past. But 37 here. So players of the week, we had a tie. Dango Unchained over at Brentford, and you mentioned him, Ollie Watkins, who's getting the national team call up for England. 15 points apiece. They each had 2 goals, some bonus points. There might have been an assist here or there, but 15 points each. I mean, for busts, I think the biggest bust for 37 has to be Gyökeres. Because I feel like so many managers brought him in. For him to not start was
Yeah.
had to be crushing for managers.
As somebody who was crushed by it, I can attest to that. It was really bad. But again, no. I mean, there's nothing else to say because he got benched. So I'd also have to throw in City, right? Holland scored one at the death there, but we were expecting them to win this week, keep the pressure on Arsenal to go at least go into the final game week, but
Right.
let up the first goal, and then we were just scrapping for anything at the end there. Disappointing out of them, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I think in credit to Bournemouth, they've had a phenomenal campaign. Credit to Iraola, who's going to be moving on from Bournemouth. Junior Krupi has been an extremely bright spot for them this season. I think I saw 13 goals, um, which was not on anyone's radar to begin the season. I think at one point he was priced around 4.6, 4.5. If you got on the Junior Krupi chain, I was humble brag. I was on his train most of the second half of the season, and nice little value pick. Hard to find those every now and then. Yeah, let's get into the fixtures. Game week 37. We'll try to go through this kind of quick. Um, just because it's been a little while now. But game week 37 kicked off last Friday. So we had Villa hosting Liverpool. Villa actually took them to cleaners. They won 4-2 on that Friday fixture. And then there were no games on Saturday. So everything was on Sunday. We had a bunch of fixtures. United beat Forest 3-2 in an absolute thriller. Bruno Fernandes equaling and tying the assist record for Premier League players. So good for him. Then we also had Brentford and Palace tying in a game that Palace was on record. I don't think they cared about. Everton lost to Sunderland 1-3, which you gotta hope that doesn't light a fire under their ass going into the last game week. Jordan Pickford, James Garner, Jack Grealish were spotted at a strip club this morning. So that was we love to see that. Moving on, Leeds beat Brighton 1-0. Wolves went level with Fulham 1-1. Newcastle took it to West Ham, so they did what we needed 3-1. Shout out Nick Voltemade making an appearance late in the season here. Just moving through the rest of the fixtures, we had Arsenal winning 1-0 against Burnley. It's atrocious refereeing. Again, lots of questionable calls and non-calls, but hey, whatever. And then that brought us to Tuesday, where we just mentioned Bournemouth and City went level. Junior Krupi with a nice goal, and Holland with a equalizer in I think it was the 95th minute. And then Chelsea 2-1 beating Spurs. That first goal from Enzo was I don't know what Kinski was doing. Second goal just kind of fell apart. James Madison almost put one through at the death there, but just lots of questionable refereeing. It sucks that at this point in the season we're talking about so many. I wouldn't even say decisions that could go either way. Like, these are very clear, just head scratchers. But Jimbo, overall fixture slate from game week 37, what stood out to you? Surprises? Anyone who you thought was gonna happen and it did happen that way? I want to get your thoughts.
I think Newcastle coming out strong as West Ham is probably the biggest surprise. I mean, they hadn't been in great form. I'm trying to pull it up here. I don't remember what it was. I think they lost their last 3 prior to this. Yeah,
Mm.
and West Ham have looked good. I mean, Bowen dragging them to the finish line here. Castellanos chipped a couple in. That Greek guy with the really long name.
Mavropanos.
Yeah, that one. So surprising result there. Obviously, huge impacts for the relegation battle coming up this weekend. But yeah, that one was surprising to me. I don't know. Other than that, Villa putting 4 in against Liverpool, that was surprising. So Van Dijk had 2 goals there, but they led up 4. So he obviously lost the clean sheet plus a couple points there for the
Oh,
goals allowed. But Villa pumping 4 ahead of the final, I thought that there would be some sort of rest. That was not the case. Watkins, I just looked at, I think he's at 13 or 14 goals for the season, um, which is great considering how cold he started. 14 goals, 3 assists for the season. Plus, he's played 15 Europa League games. That's so many.
That is a lot of Europa League games.
And he had 5 goals and 2 assists in that competition. So he's had quite a season. Yeah, 54 games total, 19 goals across all comps.
That's very interesting. I don't that was not on my radar.
Because Europa League has that extra round when people drop out of Champions League, right? At least they used to. I forget with the new Champions League format.
Mm,
Doesn't matter. But yeah, surprised that Liverpool didn't put up more of a fight. Salah did not play, right?
no, he's still being kind of put in purgatory for some of his comments.
He he came on in the 74th minute, so we got a few minutes.
Yeah. I mean, those are just garbage minutes.
And Verts came on as well.
Yeah. Interesting, I think if you think about the results in game week 37 and how they potentially could impact, lineups in game week 38. Like I think Oliver Glasner has pretty openly said, they they will not be caring about game week 38. They have a conference league final to be worrying about a few days later. So, like if you're looking to maybe bring in Palace players or you're targeting them, like I don't know, Chris Richards just went down with, and I saw the report about Chris Richards said he had ligament damage,
Did
but
see this.
I also heard the report that in across the pond, that just means he has a sprained ankle.
But then he's 50-50 for the World Cup. Seems like you would know more than 50-50.
I mean, we'd have to probably get our resident doctor on here just to be very clear on what a sprain like what are the mechanics of an actual ankle sprain? When you sprain an ankle, do you actually have like little tears in the ligament? Is that what could happen?
I think you could just wrap it really tight and you're fine.
I agree. I think that's what they have the cold spray for.
Exactly.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That technology has existed for years.
Yeah, yeah. But we will take a look at game week 38 fixtures. But before we do that, just want to give a shout out to the team of the week. So 139 points overall, starting with the one, the only Carl Darlow in back for Leeds, 11 points. You mentioned Van Dijk with 2 goals, so he had a 14. Anthony Robinson, who stepped up and actually took a penalty for Fulham. That was very surprising.
Yeah.
12-point haul. Murado, I should say, over at Forest with 9-point haul. So not a massive haul for defense, but nonetheless still making the back line there for the team of the week. Midfield, so I mentioned Dango and Chained with 15 points. Your boy Lafi with a 13-point.
Fluffy.
That one haunted you. Enzo with a goal, 13 points, some DEFCON there. Morgan Rogers, who has had a little resurgence here towards the end, ended up getting a goal in the Europa League final as well, so 12 points there. And Elliot Anderson, who just seems to play 90 minutes, get his minutes points, get his DEFCON points, maybe a bonus point here or there, with 12 points on his display over the weekend. And then in the front, we had Ollie Watkins with 15 points and Osula, who's been great value for Newcastle as they seemingly have given up on Nick Foltamade. And I don't know
Vista.
who's that guy, Vissa. I mean, yeah, tough for Newcastle. 139 points overall, very affordable.
Pretty good team.
Pretty good team. All right, moving into team results. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, why not? All right. So this week I moved. What did I do?
Why don't you just tell me the name?
That's right. I moved Senesi out for Saliba. That was my move for the week. Worked out. So I was on 50 points. So tough week for me. Below the average for Bruggen in the back got me 2. Cambo at Palace, 3 points there because they let in 2. And then Baba O'Reilly, 2 points because they let in the goal that won the league for Arsenal there. Saliba got me 8 points. So good move on the transfer there. Moving into midfield, Dewsbury Hall 2, Cherky 1. I had my vice on Bruno, who got 9 points, and then I had Saka with 10. Forwards, I had Welbeck with 2, Holland 9, and then I had the captaincy on Gyökeres, so pretty pissed that he started on the bench and then actually came on for a few minutes. So if he didn't come on, that would have kind of helped me because I had the captain on there, the vice on Bruno. But That did not happen. On my bench, though, unfortunately, I had Justin over at Leeds with 6 points, so he could have had a nice fill-in for O'Reilly or Cambo. But then the real dagger is Laffy on my third spot on my bench. He had 13 points there, so really could have used him to upgrade Cherk
Mm.
Dewsbury Hall. I just did not time any Sunderland players at all this season. Smart enough to bring him in, but I don't think he actually started for me at all.
Oh, there's always next season. They didn't get relegated.
They did not.
Blackouts, rain.
And more importantly, they have a chance to play in Europe.
That's crazy. That is
That
absolutely
is
crazy.
I'm so happy for them. I will be when Spurs get relegated, I will be a Sunderland fan next season.
Sunderland, kill you.
Did you watch it yet?
No.
This summer. When there's nothing on this summer, you gotta watch.
Maybe you
You
come
don't wanna
over.
watch baseball.
You come over. We'll throw it on the TV. We'll get some beers, maybe some ribs, and we'll just sit and we'll just watch it together. How's that sound?
Maybe it could be our spin-off podcast, the episode by episode review of Sunderland Till I Die.
People would probably tune into that. That would be good. That'd be good. Anything else from you?
Nah.
All right. So I actually had a pretty good game week. I had 82 points on a bench boost. So I did beat the average by almost 30 points. I did make 3 transfers though. One of them was for a hit. So I did take a 4-point hit. So I moved out Esteve, Dubravka, and Cole Palmer. And I brought in Trossard, David Raya, and Timothy Castagna over at Fulham. Overall, I think I'm pretty happy with the result.
Mm.
Considering but just going through the squad here, so Kelleher was I mean, it didn't really matter who I started. I got 2 points from Kelleher, I got 6 points from Raya. My back line, I had Nico O'Reilly with 2 points, Van Dyke with 14, Gabriel gave me 6 points, didn't get that bonus, I guess, probably because he had a penalty, he should have gotten called for it. And Mr. Hill, James Hill over at Bournemouth. Also in the back line, I had Timothy Castagna with 5 points. So nice little haul for the defense. Midfield, I had Bruno Fernandes with 9 points. Semenyo, who I knew the moment I moved him out, he was going to go off. And the moment I brought him back in, he was going to blank for me. He continued that trend. Only one really, really bad return for him,
Flop.
along with, yeah, total flop. And Ryan Gravenberg with a 2-point haul. Also blank. My midfield, I had Trossard and Stock on that bench boost, who did actually give me 6 points combined. So not awful, right? When you're playing your bench boost, you're really just looking for players that are nailed with some potential to do something. Trossard did get the start, so it was a good gamble. I would do it again. Just didn't get the result that I wanted. Otherwise, up front, I had Thiago give me a 2-point haul. Holland with the armband gave me 18 points, and Junior Krupi, who I mentioned, gave me an 8-point haul. So that was kind of the nice part about, Krupi scored, Nico O'Reilly didn't get the clean sheet, but either way, he still got some points out of it. So 82 points. I'm officially all out of chips. I'm out of free transfers going into game week 38. So this is probably going to be pretty close to my team, and we'll talk about team selection a little bit later in the ep. But all in all, not a great week, but a really, really good week.
Can I be frank?
Yeah.
Can I pretend to be Frank? Oh, hi, I'm Frank. I'm a little surprised you have kept Gravenberg this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, the move between Gravenberg and Szoboszlai should have went down weeks ago. Weeks
Yeah.
ago. I know. Hindsight's always 2020. I think part of it was I was a little bit gridlocked because I didn't have the funds for quite some time. I had a lot of my money tied up in Cole Palmer,
Yeah.
and then it became a matter of, well, I don't want to take another hit. I could have taken another hit. I think I do have a little bit of money in the bank, actually. Yeah, I've got 1.3 in the banks. Maybe that's my move. Gravenberg currently is priced at 5.4 for me, so that would give me 6.7 off the rip. That puts me in decent company.
Elliot Anderson there.
Oh, that's some bitch. Anyway, thank you, Frank. Nice to talk to you. Looking at the one, the only Lord Tinkerton. So still in last place. Doesn't look like he's going to crack 1,900 points this season. But did score 58 points. So
More than me.
and more than you. And that's without Chris Richards playing. And that's without anyone on his bench. So basically, he got all his points. He has Dango in his squad. He's got Morgan Rogers in his squad. He's got Holland in his squad, and he's got Gabriel in his back line. Everyone else gave a singular point.
That's so
So,
bad.
yeah, that's bad for you. That's bad for you. Anyway,
Yeah, we said it like 10 weeks ago, whether or not you should go with Dango. And I said he is the long-term play that I did not bring in.
you didn't. You should have. You should
Sure.
have. It was right there in front of you.
Should
You
have.
have to trust the AI blindly.
No, he hasn't even used all of his chips.
Well, he doesn't want to use any more tokens. Anyway, all right. So now this is where it's getting good. So we have that captain's draft. We have been very diligent about making picks. So just to recap, going into game week 36. So at the conclusion of game week 35, you were sitting at 124 points. I was sitting at 119. You officially had made picks of Holland in 36 and Bruno Fernandez in 37. Holland scored 11 points in 36. Bruno scored 9 points in 37, which brings you to 144 points going into game week 38. I was sitting at 119 points. I had chosen Jeremy Doku in game week 36 and Saka in game week 37. Doku scored 12 points in 36 and Saka scored 10 points in 37. So, after tabulating the scores, after 37 game weeks, and I don't remember which game week we started, going into game week 38, you have a 3-point lead. It is 144 to 141. And you will be picking first in game week 38. That's a lot of pressure. Nobody wants the number one pick.
Sometimes you do want it because it's like you're just on vacation.
I mean, sometimes you've got you got those teams that are just like on the beach. I think that's what they refer to it as. Like they have nothing to play for. They're all packed in. They're sitting. They're maybe having a nice little Mai Tai.
Well,
Jim, what's your favorite beach?
well, my favorite beach is actually Del Boca Vista. And this episode is actually brought to you by Del Boca Vista, the premier destination for the man who has nothing left to prove, except that he's the rightful president of the condo board. We're talking about the retirement community that's not just a place to live, it's a battlefield. It's Florida's answer to the Wild West, where the stakes aren't just high, they're senior. Are you tired of the cold, the damp, the neighbors who don't know the proper procedure for a condo association election? At Del Boca Vista, we don't just offer swimming pools and shuffleboard. We offer a lifestyle of constant, vigilant governance. We're talking about the committee. We're talking about bylaws. We're talking about the investigation of why costs of maintaining the pool has doubled, even though the fountain has been broken since 1994. It's the only place in the country where your biggest problem will be whether or not you can get a decent piece of fruit at the local supermarket. And trust us, you're not going to like this. But who needs a good cantaloupe when you have all the power, when you have the gavel, when you have an absolute certainty that you're the only one in the entire complex who actually read the handbook? So pack your trunks and prepare to complain. Because at Del Boca Vista, the days are sunny, the air is humid, and the grievances are official. Visit DelBocaVistaPhase3.com and use code Tinker for a free laminated set of condo rules that nobody will ever follow. That's DelBocaVistaPhase3.com. Code Tinker. Del Boca Vista. So good when you move your parents in and then immediately regret it.
Try that again. Try that again.
Del Boca Vista. So good you want to move your parents in and then immediately regret it.
Uh,
The decent piece of fruit coming out of left field got me good.
That was good. That was good. I actually made I made a joke. I made a Seinfeld joke that I think I made to you. I think I made on this epoch, our last record around. Sometimes the only good thing that gets me out of bed is a nap. I made the joke today to a loved one. And they did not appreciate it. They didn't understand it. They did not. They didn't understand the reference because they don't watch Seinfeld. Apparently, you got to be careful.
Is there something you want to talk about? Are you unhappy?
No, I got this nice big couch. I'm good.
You're a big C guy.
Anything else on game week 37, Joe?
No, I'm done talking about.
We have shut the door on game week 37. We've made it to the promised land.
Yeah, so matchups for Game Week 38. So obviously all starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time to not affect the 2 games that actually matter. Maybe 4 games that matter for table position here. So Brighton hosting United, Burnley hosting Wolves, Palace hosting Arsenal, which will have the presentation of the trophy. Fulham hosting Newcastle, Liverpool hosting Brentford, City hosting Villa, Forest hosting Bournemouth, Spurs hosting Everton, Sunderland hosting Chelsea, and then West Ham hosting Leeds, the hottest team in the league, Leeds. So yeah, really there's only the couple games that matter. Obviously, West Ham and Tottenham both need to win. So let's start there. So there's 9 possible scenarios between these two outcomes. Only one of them results in Tottenham getting relegated, and that one will obviously happen. Spurs need 1 point, regardless of what West Ham do, unless West Ham score like 14 goals. So a win or a draw will secure it for Spurs, uh, or a loss plus a West Ham draw or loss.
I saw it floating around the internet today that like folks were getting a little bit ticked off that everyone keeps saying there's only 9 outcomes when really there is a 10th. Like West Ham's not going to win 12-0.
You mean they'll win 6-0 and then Spurs will lose 6-0?
Well, that's a no, because I think the outcome is the 3 points with a. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe if you want to think of it that way with the loss, but I think the I don't know. I don't know. People are annoying. Also, shame on you. Just, I mean, Burnley Wolves. I mean, you're talking about next year's championship playoff final. I mean, that's a good one.
Oh, they're
That one could be exciting.
no Wrexham coming up next season.
Why even play that game? Like what? Like for what?
Yeah, I know.
I also saw some stat, and I do not know if it's true, that Burnley receives £50 million just from the Premier League for, I don't know if it's TV deal or rights or whatever. But basically, it's like, okay, you've been relegated. Here's 50 million, and Barcelona only wins like 47 million for winning the La Liga.
Well, they basically don't even own their own team anymore, right?
Yeah, they just keep opening the tranches, the tranches, the tranches. Yeah, I mean, all right. Let's spend a little bit of time dissecting the Spurs Everton game. So the big question for me: which Everton team are we going to face? Are we going to face the Everton team that just lost one through by 2 goals to Sunderland, or are we going to face the Everton team who put 3 past City and effectively locked up the title for Arsenal? I mean, what do you think?
So they haven't won a game since March 21st when they beat Chelsea 3-0.
Did you have that stat written down ahead of time?
I just pulled it up.
That's really good, Jimbo. Good job.
So their last 6 games, 3 draws, 3 losses. That is what we need to be thinking about. We could deal with a draw. We could deal
That's
with a
all we
draw.
need.
That's all
We
need.
need it. All we need is a draw.
What I am encouraged about is Jordan Pickford going out to see some big tatters this week.
Do you think he's he likes the headlights, or do you think he likes a big caboose?
He's a headlights guy. He's a goalkeeper. He likes the pressure.
He likes to like wax on, wax off.
He's got his
For our
gloves on.
pod for our pod only listeners, I'm doing a windshield wiper motion with my hands just in case.
He's got his keeper gloves on because they got the extra stickum on him.
Oh, right. Imagine he walks up to the club. The professional dancer goes over to him and says, "Hey, you got a few bucks?" And he goes, "Yeah, hang on." And he puts on his gloves. My God,
I
that would
don't
be
I don't really
that'd be
know how that all works. I know you're much more well versed in that than I am.
no. I never played goalie.
Either way, yeah. If he continues to just go out and not take it seriously, I really like that those chances then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see what De Zerbi does with the lineup. No Christian Romero allowed in in the vicinity. I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't even discuss that, but I mean, the short of it, right? It's are you around to support the club that you captain in arguably their biggest game in, I don't know, 50 years, or you go across the world to watch your boyhood club in a final that is it's equally as meaningful for them, but you have no ties to them. I mean, they don't pay your wage bill. I mean,
I mean, I don't really care. He's gone this summer. We
he's
knew that.
so gone.
We knew that was the case. I don't know. I mean,
Do you think he's really injured right now?
I don't know. I think he was injured, and then he got so pissed that he is just probably faking.
Mm, mm.
Can't blame
I'm
him.
hoping for big things from Richie. I got to be honest. I think there's an emotional piece. Um,
Former
how
club, yeah.
former club. He loves a relegation fight. Um, how fitting would it be for Spurs to get their first home win of basically what, this millennia, to secure their spot in the Premier League?
It would be poetic, but at the same time, it would be poetic if we did not win a home game, and that's why we went down.
Yeah, it's going to get really interesting, right? Because like obviously at kickoff, all the games are 0-0. You don't necessarily have any word or news of what might be transpiring in the West Ham game. But, if you find that, West Ham are down, let's say, 1-0 or 2-0 or something like that, and, you know, I don't know, Spurs only need a point. Do you see De Zerbi, potentially being a little bit more conservative? I hate to think that they're scoreboard watching, but
I think we're so bad we don't have the luxury of a scoreboard watching. We
mm,
we cannot score.
but I challenge that because I feel like we have scored more goals. I mean, maybe it's just we were so bad under Frank and Tudor, but like I feel like we've been scoring goals under De Zerbi.
The Chelsea goal was basically a Chelsea gave it away, and we kinda it was
Fair.
scrappy. It wasn't we built
But
it.
you need those goals in the course of a season. You gotta take what
Yes, yes, but when we need to create a goal, we really struggle, and the Tell goal against Leeds was off a corner. So, we have not created goals from open play, apart from that Villa game when Gallagher was all over the place.
do you think Madison starts?
I think he has to.
Yeah, I mean, how many minutes did he get in the last game? Can we pull that up?
It
It
was like
wasn't much.
it's like 15 maybe.
15? I mean, do you think he's built up for 45 minutes?
He came on in the 69th minute,
And they went 95 or 96 minutes. So he
97,
basically no, it went more than that, right?
97.
97. So he basically played like, 25 minutes.
I could s if he doesn't start, he has to come on at half.
Yeah. But then at that point, it's like, why? If he's coming on at half, it's probably because you need a goal. I would just start him. I think I would
Yeah.
just start.
Yeah, and then if he can't make it, you pull him off and you put on a useless central midfielder to
Yeah.
go play for the draw.
Yeah. Because especially like if Everton, if they put a cheap one by us in the first half, and they have the opportunity. I mean, Daniel Moyes, right? I mean, he's got ties to West Ham. If they have the opportunity to force a result that relegates Spurs, and all they have to do is park the bus and just like hold the line for 45 minutes, Oski, Branthwaite, like they're gonna do it. I think Branthwaite, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost have more faith in, Leeds scoring against West Ham. I mean, Leeds have been in phenomenal form.
I think the only thing Leeds really have to play for is personal accolades. I think DCL might want to get a 15th goal, but otherwise Leeds are like they are definition of on the beach.
Yeah, but they're playing so well. They lost the FA Cup, and that's their only loss since March 3rd.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Hmm, okay. Okay. I want to bring it back just a little bit. Any other like fixtures that you would target just for FPL purposes?
I think well, the only other table position moves, right, is like that 6, 7, 8 spots.
So it's Bournemouth, it's Villa, it's Liverpool.
No, so those are guaranteed Europe. I think it's more Brentford, Sunderland. Brentford and Sunderland are Brentford's tied with Chelsea for Conference League. They're missing out on differential, and Sunderland is 1 point behind. So if Chelsea and Brentford both lose and Sunderland win, they could be playing in Europe. So Chelsea, Brentford, and Sunderland each have something to play for
I mean,
to guarantee a Europe spot.
so if Everton wins, they would be on 52 points. Chelsea would have to lose by 6 goals. So like Everton don't really have a lot to play for. Newcastle also would have to win by 5 goals, and Chelsea would have to lose by 5 goals. Or I guess
Brentford
I
and
mean it
Sunderland.
doesn't have to work like that, right? Just net of the differential there. But so I guess I mean just I don't know. I mean I guess technically Fulham's differential is way too big, but yeah, I mean I guess you're right. I think there are a few teams that technically still have some stakes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough week. It's a tough
Yeah,
week.
tough week. I don't know. I feel like at this point you're kind of stuck with whoever you got. Maybe we just who are you thinking about for a captain pick? Because like that is really the pool that you would want to target if you don't have
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah. So I think the golden boot is pretty much locked up at this point too. I mean, I think Collins got it, but I mean, barring some who's in second? Thiago's in second,
Tiago is 5 behind him.
5 behind. So unless Thiago does something incredible against Liverpool, who Liverpool at home, Salah's last fixture, I don't see that happening. City have played a lot of games this season though. You've heard Pep complain about it in the past. Is this a, Holland gets the first 45, and then Marmouche comes in and plays up top. So a lot of question mark there. I think this could be a fun week. I think this could be one of those weeks where you say, screw it. I'm going to go with, maybe Richarlison as my captain. I've seen some folks even floating out Teddy Castellanos, who has I think it's 6 shots on goal per 90 over the last like 5 or 6 games, which is like head and shoulders above anybody else in the league. Teddy's out there just ripping shots. Which, how bittersweet would that be? Like the love of my life, Teddy Castellanos scoring goals to put West Ham ahead of us.
I love him.
I love Teddy Castellanos. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is one of those weeks where like not an obvious captain pick, just because the league is so decided, and then even on those teams that are in between, or they do have some stakes to play, I don't think there's a great captain choice on those teams. So go have fun with it. Go pull a Castellanos. Go pull maybe a Richarlison, right? Like somebody's got to score for Spurs. It seems to be him.
Why don't you just tell me who you want to score?
Interesting.
Yeah. But like probably the textbook one would be Bruno, right? Against Brighton.
I think you got to. So Bruno, we mentioned accolades. Bruno, I think, needs one more assist to actually overtake all of those players that he's tied with for the assist record. I think he's tied right now. One more, and he sets the record. So we've said it all season, right? If United are scoring goals, he's involved in some way, shape, or form. You got to think that there's maybe a little extra motivation for Mbomo or Cunha or Seshko, who I believe I also saw all 3 of them have scored double-digit goals on the season, which good for them. I think Bruno would be a good choice.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you there. Okay, moving on to Captain's Draft. So this is the final pick. So remember, you're on 144 points. I'm on 141. You do have the last pick of the season. Who are you going with?
I think I'm gonna go Bruno.
Bruno Tonioli?
7.
Dancing the Cha-Cha.
But you know what? I'm gonna go Bruno. Listen to this. I have not used my triple captain yet, so I'm gonna use my triple captain this week.
That is not how that works, but okay.
Yeah. Bruno triple.
Yeah.
Make sure you add it in there.
Did you use all your chips after this is said and done?
Yes.
Good.
course. Come on.
Okay. You're going Bruno. So I need to make up some ground. So I kind of got to be a little bit creative here. I am going to go with, for the last time ever, Mo Salah.
I love that. I love that pick.
I mean, I hate it, but
No, I love that one. Damn it, I should have done that.
yeah. I mean, just because you can never do it again,
Yeah. Damn it. He's got
And I mean, how fitting would it be for him just to fuck me one more time this season?
it's his favorite pastime.
His favorite pastime. Death, taxes, and Salah just giving me the ramrod. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Whoever wins the captain's draft,
What did we get? What did we say we get as something?
I'll have to go back. I think we started this maybe around like game week 10 or 12.
I think we get naming rights for the opponent's next child or next stadium, whichever one comes first.
Whichever one comes first. We'll have to review the tape on that. Maybe we can
Yeah.
have Clark do that for us.
Let's go back.
But if not, I guess we can discuss prize winnings on the next app.
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, Jim, I just realized I never said it. This is a mega app. Spoiler. If you made
Context
it this
clues.
far.
I think they cut on it.
Context clues. Okay. We talked captains. We talked chip strategy the rest of the way. I mean, if you have any chips left, this is the week to use it. Let me ask you this.
You missed.
If you had a bench boost and a triple captain left, like your Lord Tinkerton, which would you use this week?
Triple.
Well, that's because you're using triple.
Well, yeah, but if you have a bench, but yes, this week's always tough because there is a lot of goals, but it's it's never who you expect. It's not like a typical Salah, Holland, Saka week. It's
Right.
half the teams don't give a shit, but they're going to score because it's the last week, and so I wouldn't use bench boost because it's too risky. I mean, bench boost is always risky. I think triple would be the play.
Yeah, I think where I get a little nervous myself would be if I put it on someone like a Holland or a United who technically have nothing to gain other than just their own self numbers. I think I saw Arsenal, City, and United are like, and the 2 relegation teams are basically like the only 2 teams that have absolutely nothing to play for this week. in terms of table position movement.
I saw Saka, Raya, and one of their defenders weren't even practicing.
I saw that too. Yeah,
Not good
fucking
for
lazy,
owners.
lazy.
Yeah.
Should we get into team picks?
Yeah, sure. I haven't looked at all. I have nothing to play for. I'll probably transfer out Saka just because he's probably not going to play, but I don't know. I'll bring somebody in.
Yeah. I just got logged out, so give me 1 second here to just go into my phone and write down my password. But I think I mentioned it. I think I've got 1.3 mil in the bank, only one free transfer. I have no chips. I think the best move for me would probably be to and I think it's got to be moving Gravenbear out, but I mean, I guess I don't have to, but I also can't take my transfer with me. So
You can get to Showslide, can't you? 6, 7?
no, Shabasly is 7 mil right now.
Is he?
I would only have about 6, 7 in the bank. So maybe it's moving Tiago out on Liverpool and going to like I don't know, João Pedro's injured. May- Maybe I go Tiago to Richarlison. That would be
I think that's the move.
I think that's the move.
So maybe I go Yakaresh to Richarlison.
Oh, if you were really fun, you would go like Kolumuani or Mateus Tell.
I hate both of them. So
Oh wait, do we go Madison for the last game week?
maybe I go Saka to Madison just for some
I
fun.
think I think I'm gonna go Trossard to Madison.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay, I'll do it with you. Oh wait, no, I can go. Can I go Gravenbear? I can probably go Gravenbear to Madison. Let's see if I can do this right now. Madison probably didn't have a price
He's still
drop.
probably he can't afford it.
Like, oh wait, no, hold on. Let me see.
I got him.
Oh my god, I'm 0.1 mil off. Do I take a hit? Do I take a hit? Point 0.2. Oh, I'm going double Spurs. Madison and Richie. I can afford them. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm making the transfer now.
That's gonna be big.
-4, but easily worth it.
Yeah.
Easily worth it. And I'm gonna give the armband right now is on Holland.
I'm gonna move mine to Madison.
You're giving him the armband. You're triple captain.
Well, not triple captain. I don't have any chips.
You're a psychopath. I love it. I love it.
It literally means nothing. I can't move anywhere.
Ah, Jim, just have a little bit of fun for a change.
But
All
imagine if he
right.
gets the hat trick.
Could you imagine if he saves their season? Oh my god.
Well, we said
Okay.
it for 3 games now when he was supposed to have a penalty in each game. Oh, yeah, we forgot the penalty call that he didn't get in the Leeds game
Oh yeah. My god. Don't get me started here.
when they said Leeds got all ball. They clearly got nothing.
Yeah, here's a couple balls for you. Ironically enough, so no price risers.
Ironic.
But there is one player who is going to drop tonight if he hadn't already. Tiago is going to drop in too. So I just moved him out. So I narrowly avoided that price drop by
Wait.
2 minutes.
Did Mudryk drop yet?
Mudryk, I don't see him in here, oddly enough. Oh wait, yeah, he did. People are sick. People are really sick. If you're paying attention to your team at this point in the season and you still have Mudryk, what are you doing? Just absolutely incredible. We mentioned Lord Tinkerton. I mean, he's only fielding 10 players, not making any changes.
He didn't make any transfers?
He didn't make any transfers. No, I don't know.
Yeah, next year we gotta revamp him.
We got to revamp that for sure. For sure. We got to revamp that. No problem there. Jimbo, I mean, we're at the final whistle here. This is our penultimate episode. I have one question for you before we go. Will you watch the Spurs game with me?
I will.
Okay. Okay. And then another question. Is it too late to join our mini league?
No, that's a good question. It's never too late, actually.
Where should we put the description?
I think you probably
Fuck.
promised T-shirts, didn't you?
I promised t-shirts.
For like the top 10.
Did we? I mean, we can go to the tape. It's on record. It's on record. We'll have to go. I mean, I know we said penultimate episode. We'll obviously have a game week 38 reaction. And kind of I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do a postmortem after that. We might want to revisit some of the preseason predictions, see
Yeah.
how good we
Yes.
were. So I don't know. Maybe it's one more episode, but we just like really prepare for it. Make sure we have everything buttoned up, so it's not a 2-hour ep. But that could be fun if the juices are flowing. What'd you say?
We're always prepared.
We're always prepared. That's right. That's right. And you, our listeners, should also be prepared for this episode to drop on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, drop us a comment. What are you doing for Memorial Day weekend? I want to know what you're doing. Jim, what are you doing for Memorial Day weekend?
I'm just honoring those that we've lost and their memories. Well, I bet
I
you were going like do something fun.
I'm gonna go do something fun and
Yeah,
also well, I've insulated myself to the Spurs outcome because either they lose and I go to a happy place, or they win and I go to a happy place.
you do look like you're insulated.
Cut it out. Oh my god. As always, we will drop the code to our mini in the description. Jim has confirmed it is not too late to join.
Honestly, it actually might be. I don't.
It might be too late. It might be too late. But as always, thank you for joining us on Tinker Time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop your captain pick in the comments, and we will see you at the end of Game Week 38. Happy tinkering.
Draft dreams rise like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait. Captain choice will seal your fate. Two enthusiasts breaking it down. Fantasy kings, we're taking the crown.